It's me, Katie, back for some more crochet. How was your weekend? Did you guys have a great time? Do anything fun? My family, we actually enjoyed the first Saturday in ages, and the first Saturday of the year, no less, with nothing to do. That basically never happens. We typically always have something going on. It's a little crazy. And so it was nice to just kind of chill and have the day to ourselves for once, instead of having an activity to run to or a birthday party to run to or really much of anything. And while originally this coming Saturday we were going to have more of the same, of course, life blows up and that's no longer the case. Now we've got a birthday party and I've got work to do in our cafe for an event. So back to the grind, I guess, right? So if you want, feel free, if you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment and let me know what you did this weekend. If you had anything fun to do, if you made a crochet project, and share a picture of that. I'd love to see what you're up to. So last time we were working on our Charmander. It was our first part last week. We made our head. There's our Charmander head. He's not stuffed yet. I haven't brought my stuffing in, but we're going to be a while before we get stuffing anyway. So we got through that. And then today we are going to move on to create the big main body piece. And this is going to be a really easy workup. There aren't any like real special things of like having to make a bill or snout or nose or whatever you want to call that on Charmander. It's increasing and then it's decreasing and then it's done. Make that kind of a teardrop sort of shape today. So if you guys are ready to get into it, so am I. And yeah, I'm contemplating killing the light for this one because it's a little bright in here. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. Hopefully that won't be too dark. Whew. I gotta work on this light thing. It's hard to do when you're in such a tiny space. Yeah, that's not as insane anymore. And especially when you're working with only one small adjustable light, because obviously I've got to build up my stuff. So yeah, so, all right, so here we go. We're diving in. I've got my pattern. If you need to get the pattern, here's where you can find it: oneupcrochet.com. Get her amazing Charmander pattern, but that's where we're heading today. We're going to be doing that body part, not with the yellow, it's just the orange part. So if you don't have any yellow yarn, perfectly fine. That's going to be something we do later and add in. Alright, so here we go. Working on body, we got orange yarn, we got our hook. I am once again using a 3.5mm hook. And here we go. Round 1, we are going to do 6 crochet into a magic circle. If you didn't watch the first part, that's okay. You can always go back and watch the first part. They're 2 separate pieces. But I will say that I would recommend that you already know how to do basic crocheting before you attempt this. This is not a stitch tutorial. We are actually putting together a project. So if you don't know what a single crochet is, or a slip stitch, or working in the round, things like that, I would highly suggest you get a YouTube video, get a friend that knows how to do it, and get a few lessons before you try and conquer this guy. 6. Alright, so if you don't know what a magic circle is or a magic ring, good to get some information on that before you try and make him. Again, this is going to be posted to my YouTube channel, so you can always go back. Same name, KT Plays 2022. Alright, got our start. See it? There we go. All right, round 2. We're going to increase to 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There it is. We'll say without the overhead light, it is now a little more difficult for me to see, but that's okay. I can handle it. Increasing to 12. So 1 increase in each of the 6 stitches. Excuse me and my itchy eye. Okay. I have a glasses problem. I don't know if you guys have noticed that. My ears obviously are not even, and so it makes my glasses sit off my face. So like if I adjust it to this, but then my eyesight's weird. It's all kinds of funky. You guys have that issue if you wear glasses? So it always looks like my glasses are crooked on my face. Just my ears. All right, round 3. We are moving up to 18 stitches. That's 1 single crochet with an increase 6 times around for 18 stitches. So that's 1 single crochet with an increase, 1 single crochet with an increase. Do that 4 more times. (16, 17, and 18 stitches. All right, round 4. We're going to do 2 single crochet followed by an increase 6 times around for a total of 24 stitches. So that's 1, 2 single crochet, and then an increase in the next stitch. That's 4 stitches, and do that 5 more times. (21, 22, last increase to 24. All right, round 5. We're going to do 3 single crochet with an increase 6 times around. You noticing the pattern here? Literally the pattern. But that's going to give us a total of 30 stitches. I'm just pulling my yarn out here. Give me a little bit of leeway. There we go. All right, so that's 3 single crochet with an increase 6 times around. 1, 2, 3 single crochet with an increase in the next stitch, 5 5, and then 5 more times of that. 6. This eye is fairly itchy today. Weird. I'm afraid I might have miscounted. I got distracted by my itchy eye, so I'm going to recount that real quick. And besides, I'm about 5 rows in, 5 rounds, so I like to count, make sure I'm on task anyway. 1, 2, 3, 13. Yep, I was at 30. All right. You'll see I don't use stitch markers, so until I reach a certain point. So I just like to make sure I'm counting correctly and I didn't miss a stitch somehow. So yeah. Alright, round 6. Here we go. Increasing up to 36 stitches. We're going to do 4 single crochet followed by an increase 6 times around. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochet followed by 1 increase. Keep to do that around 6 times in total. 5 more. All of a sudden I can't do math. Alright, what'd I do? I messed myself up. Alright. Where was my increase? There it was. I did 1, 2, 3. There we go. 4. And now my increase. There we go. 18. One, 32, 33, 34, 35, and 36. All right, end of round 6 and the end of my page. Moving on. All right, round 7. We're increasing to 42 stitches. So that's going to be 5 single crochet followed by an increase 6 times around, and this will actually be our last round of increasing. Woo! All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 single crochet, 1 increase, And then I'll do that 5 more times around. $32. All right. So you should have 7 rounds right now. Heading out, and now we're going to start building up. So for 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 5 rounds, we're just going to work around 42 stitches. And then I'll start building up the body. And that's where we're going to go now. Alright, I need my pen so I can mark out how many rounds I've done. This is where I'm going to pull out my stitch marker. Because now I am going to go ahead and stop counting. I'm just going to work around. And this way I know how many rounds I've done. I'm going to do 42 around 5 times. If you're just joining, I am continuing my Charmander workup. I'd love for you to join in. Chat with me. I'm a little lonely, not gonna lie. I'd love to know what you're working on if you're not doing this alongside me. If you've got a work in progress somewhere, if you're just hanging out, what have you. Okay. Here in Virginia, it has dropped the temperature a little bit. So I've got my heater on in my room and it is already warming me up. I might have to turn it down to just the fan in a moment instead of adding more heat. Get through this round. I'll probably go ahead and do that. So I can feel it in my face. I can also feel it in my fingers. I have no doubt that one day this is going to give me arthritis. But it's too much fun to give up. Even knowing what it could potentially do to my fingers. Alright, that was one round. Let me turn this heat down. There we go. Now we're just on a fan. Alright. Round 9 for me. If you crochet faster than I do and you have flown through this bit lickety-split, go get a drink. Take a restroom break. Text a friend. I will catch up to you shortly. If you are slower than I am, the beauty of these streams is that you can always go back. I know, unfortunately, live it's hard to go back while watching it, but I believe you still can. I might be mistaken in that. Please correct me if I'm wrong. It's actually been a while since I watched a live stream. I can't ever seem to catch the ones I want when they're streaming. So I forget if it works like, you know, like live TV or something, where you can pause it or rewind it or what have you. Alright, that is round 9. Three more to go. And then we start tapering off. My hair is all over the place, I feel like. I can feel it on my neck. That is number 10. We're halfway through now. 2 more rounds, just like that. Get his little belly going here. So if you happen to be looking at the photo, you will of course notice that he's got yellow on his belly. That actually works up as a separate overlay that we will work up at another time, and then it'll get sewn onto the tummy. So no worries about the yellow part, it will come. We'll work that up, and then it'll be part of the assembly process as we put all of these numerous pieces together eventually. But all the pieces are so worth it. I mean, look how cute he is. So I'm fairly new still to the Pokemon world, and I was having a conversation with my kids about it last night. I have never known that Pikachu was apparently supposed to be fashioned after something. A lot of them you can kind of tell that they're fashioned after lizards or sea creatures or turtles, what have you. But Pikachu, I never really understood what exactly he was supposed to be fashioned at. Which, now that my kids mentioned it, it makes perfect sense, and I don't know why I didn't see it before. They informed me that he is a Pokemon mouse. I totally see it now, how that would come across. That's round 11. So I feel like I've learned something about sweet little Pikachu. Actually, I take that back. That was from my friend's son. That's who I was talking with about it. He clearly knows a lot more about Pokemon than I do. Alright, last go round for building up here. And then we'll start the decreasing rounds. Get that taper towards the neck. And then we'll be ready to go. Moving on to the next bit. So the next bit, after we get through the body here, we're going to be making the hips. The hips and the feet are actually two separate workouts that will get sewn on together later. So in the next stream, we might actually get through both of those, both the hips and the feet. So we got to do 2 of each of those, obviously, because he's not single-legged. All right, that is round. I always say row, but it's a round. Round 12. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and keep my stitch marker in this time. All right, so round 13. 1, 3, 3, 3, 13. We are going to be taking that back down to 36. So it's going to be same as we did last time. 5 single crochet with a decrease this time. So 5 single crochet with a decrease 6 times around, taking it back down to 36 stitches in the round. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 single crochet, a decrease. That's 1. We're going to do that 5 more times. 36. I'm going to keep my stitch marker once more, and then I'll start counting again. I take that back. I'm going to keep it more than once because we're going back around again. Alright, so 14, 15, 16. 14, 15, 16. 3 more rounds. Okay? We're going to go around 36 stitches. More of that build up. Here we go. Woo! Making up songs in my head again. 'Cause it's what I do. Kind of looks like a little orange bowl right now. Which makes sense. It's basically what it is. That's round 14. Moving on to 15. Get my stitch marker out of the way there. So I'm getting excited. We have something here in Virginia called Restaurant Week. I don't know if anybody else has anything like that where they live. But essentially what happens is whichever restaurants want to participate, they do kind of a prefixed menu for a prefixed price. It's usually cheaper than their typical asking price on any given night. And you just enjoy that menu for that night. And one of my favorite places to go, because I don't get to go often, is the Melting Pot. If you've ever been to the Melting Pot, you know how amazing it is. At least in my opinion. I know not everybody's a fondue fan. But you sit and enjoy yourselves for like 3 hours, which in America is unheard of. You get bad looks if you sit around for 3 hours in a restaurant here. But the Melting Pot, it's to be expected, because essentially, yes, you're cooking your own food, but with the atmosphere that you've been given, it's great. And the time spent with family or friends, or family and friends, is totally worth it. But it typically comes at a price. You're getting really good food, like surf and turf type stuff. You typically get a cheese course and a salad course, and then you have your main course, and then you have your dessert course. It's like a full-fledged thing as part of it. And so I'm excited, because I have a group of girlfriends, and we're all going to get together and go out and do that next week. So super excited. We're all moms, so we don't get a lot of girlfriend time anymore without at least one kid tagging along. So it's going to be fun. We missed out on it the past couple of years. Thank you, COVID. So it's going to be wonderful to bring it back into our usual tradition. even if we can't get our whole group out, usually, at the very least, me and my best friend go out. So it's nice to catch up with her without our crazy kids running around as well. Alright, this will be round 16. Finishing up here, and we're going to decrease again. Alright, round 16. Whew. Fingers hurting. Finger stretches! So I have a little bit of double jointedness in my fingers. So you kind of get tighter than normal because of it. I used to play the clarinet and constantly, especially my pinky finger, it would kind of get stuck in this position. You see that? It's hard to see. Kind of get stuck right this knuckle, and it would just go up like this instead of bending the way it needs to. When you're playing those upper octaves on a clarinet, it's kind of needed. So, but same goes for this. They kind of get cramped up a little bit. More so, because again, get that funky little extra bend there. So fun. All right, round 17. Here we go. We're going to decrease back down to 30, so it's going to be 4 single crochet followed by a decrease 6 times around. Just going to go ahead and keep my stitch marker in there since it's there. It's now part of me as we do the multiple rounds. 2, 3, 4, and decrease. And do that 5 more times around. I just started going. Forgot about my decrease in there. Alright, make sure I got my right count now since I messed up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, I do. Yay! 2, 3, 4, and decrease. I'm gonna have to keep telling myself to decrease. 4, and decrease. Ooh. And the last time, 1, 2, 3, 4, and decrease. Alright, so back to building up the body a bit. We're going to do 18, 19, 20, another 3 rounds of just 30 around. So here we go with round 18. We're almost through. This ends with 23 rounds, so we're getting there. Only a few more to do. Building up the Charmander. That is 18. And on to 19. 2 more rounds. I would love to be able to write my own patterns. That is something that I find incredibly fascinating, that people have the mental awareness to be able to come up with these awesome things. And I've attempted that once, and it did not go well. I am great at following patterns. Follow instructions very well. Creating them myself, obviously I struggle with. Alright. Last one for this section. Round 20. And then we're going to have one more decrease and then finishing it off. My yarn broke a little bit there. Unraveling. There we go. Now we're back. All good. I'm having a lot of slipping today, though, that's for sure. You ever have one of those days? When you're crocheting, it just keeps slipping and slipping and slipping. That's kind of what's happening to me today. Put it through a hole, can't catch the yarn. Or I slip right over the hole. Don't actually even make it in the hole. Just realized this is up really high. You know, almost an hour into this is up really high. There, Dark Moon Clover. Thanks for joining. And thanks for following as well. Are you a Pokemon fan? Alright, look, I just jumped into the next round. Alright, so last set, we are decreasing to 24. So we're going to do 3 single crochet with 1 decrease. We're going to do that 6 times around for round 21. So that was 1, 2, 3, and a decrease. 5 more times of that. I'm right there with you. I am not personally a Pokemon fan, but my kids are. Which is what landed me on creating this Charmander. And last one, 1, 2, 3, and decrease. I'm with you on that. I enjoy watching others craft also. Sometimes they do things that you wouldn't think of yourself, and it's fun to get that inspiration. Alright, final rounds. We're going to do 2 rounds, 24 a round, and then that'll finish off the body of our Charmander. For your spawn. I love that. I will say my kids wish that 98% of my projects were for them. A lot of times they'll ask me to make stuff for them in the middle of my making something for someone else that they asked me to do. And then by the time I finish it, I sadly have forgotten that they've asked me to make them something. Like my stitch marker just pulled itself out. Look at that. Well, I guess technically my fingers did as I came around, but nonetheless. Alright, last round. 24 more stitches. Well, Dark Moon, if you're interested in creating Mr. Charmander over here, I'd love for you to join in doing so. My last stream we created his head. Today we were creating the body. I'm going to finish him off right now. My tail. So there's his body. I swear this yarn is brighter than it looks. Alright, so here's his body. I'm just going to shove that tail down inside there. Okay, so there's the body we finished. And there's his big old head that goes with it. So he's coming along. She's definitely coming up with things for me to make. Always. They're the greatest inspiration if you're not sure what to make, aren't they? They will always give you ideas. But if you're interested in picking up this pattern, playing catch up, or what have you, it's oneupcrochet.com right there on the screen. This person has fabulous projects. They are not mine. I do not claim them. But she has some amazing Pokemon projects on there. And this is the first of 3, possibly 4 that I'll be making. So, yeah, that's where we've gotten so far. It's only the second one of the year, so I haven't gotten too far into it. So if you wanted to work it up and work with me on the next stream, love to have you. It'll be fun. I stream every Monday and Friday at 11, so I will be back again on Friday. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to leave you already. This is going to be a short one, unless you want me to go ahead and start on a hip. I can do that if you want to. Completely up to you, because I've still got a little bit of time that I could go ahead and do that. I'm going to check off that I finished the body though on my sheet. So what do you think? Should I do one more hip? Get a little head start on the next one? Whatever I need to do. I'm good either way. My streams are usually about an hour long. I think the last one actually went a lot longer because I wasn't anticipating his head to be so big. But it was nonetheless. And that's okay. But yeah, for the most part, I'm usually about in the hour mark. Just because my thought is that you can only watch someone for so long crochet in circles. So yeah. Well, in that case, why don't I go ahead and wrap it up for today then. And then next time, so Friday, we're going to make both of the hips and probably both of the feet as well. So if you're wanting to do that with me, you need the same thing you've needed this whole time. Orange yarn, your size hook that you prefer, stitch marker, and some scissors. Super easy to get started with on it. If you missed the first one and you missed most of this one, feel free to go back, work up with it during this week, and meet up with me on Friday. So I will see you Friday at 11. I hope you have an awesome week. I hope any projects that you're working on go well, and I will see you then. Bye.